G'day folks, and welcome back to Metal Mania 3D in the Diecast Workshop. Today we've got a special build today. Today I'm restoring a little Ford Anglia 155 for a mate of mine, Steve, who lives at Railton in Tasmania. He's got quite a few. He's scored this one there to add to his collection, going out to garage sales, markets, that sort of thing. I scored some a couple of other days ago there, but we'll do a video on that soon. What we're going to do with this little machine is we're going to restore it back to full-on total original. We are not going to be hotting it up or modifying it. And as you see on the bottom there, there's a lot of scaly rust on the bottom there. You see a little Anglia 155 and Dinky toys. Tyres are missing. Tyres are rock hard and gone flat. So we'll new tyres on the bottom. We'll file the tops of these with a little flat spot. We'll use our spring-loaded centre punch to make sure that we get it right in the centre so we don't damage the posts when we drill it out. It's got a little bit of detailing it left on it there, on that little tail light. You see a little bit of red there, so they must have the tail lights done red and that sort of thing. So we'll do that, but it's just all going to be back to original. She's had a lot of playing and all that sort of stuff there. It's got a little crack in the side of the glass there, but by the time we polish all of those other marks off, luckily enough, we might only just see a line there, but the rest of the glass isn't too bad. It should clean up all right. So there we go. Yep, there's a little beauty. So we'll get onto it and I'll fix that up for my mate, and he'll have that there to keep in his collection looking like brand new. It's going to be the exact same colour and everything as well. So there we go, a little Ford Anglia, a Dinky model. It's seen a few rough days by the looks of it. Someone's obviously had it as their favourite toy. But anyway, let's go and get organised and get into it. And it's on the bench and we'll get him pulled apart. So stick with us. Okay, we're back with the Anglia. Now this is what you do here. When you've got these domed pins, like there, so you can get into the centre, just get your hobby file and just go like this on the top of it. There we go. Same on the other end. Do the same. Being careful that you don't hit the casting or the base plate anywhere or anything else. Excuse me. Right, there we go. Now we've got them filed up. Now this is your spring-loaded punch. Now I can get him a lot easier and better without it slipping off. I'll probably just do it on the bench here because I won't have enough strength in my hands to hold it. Then I can get it into the centre, and as you can see, now that I've centre punched it, it's in the middle, so that way I've got a lot better chance of drilling it out in the centres instead of not. Now see how I even slipped off on the flat spot there, so you just got to keep this at the right angle and we'll eventually get him. Oh, done both of them now. Right, so we'll get ready to drill him. Now, you notice I've got a smaller bit first. I'll start with that first. It's a 1.5, and I'll just drill it down into the centre and get down to the centre of it, and then I'll just use the bigger one there to drill through it, then to knock off the post. Now the thing is if you start going a little bit crooked at first, or if you slip off there and stuff, just before you start getting down too deep, you can steer your drill bit over a little bit to get your depth back into the centre. Not that I've done that, but I'm just letting you know in case you do that. And what I do is this drill bit's not marked up for a reason. For this, it's just for another job that I was doing, so take no notice of the tape on the drill. And we'll just end up going through the bottom to this one here. Get through that pin. And once we've got to the bottom of that pin, looking pretty close. So then we'll rip into it with the next bit there, the stronger, the next size up. And just starting off gently there. At the stone to make sure that you stay in the centre. This way you don't slip off the round pins. Alright, you notice I'm going a little bit crooked because it actually tried to slide the other way there, so now I'm back to the centre. So there we go. As you can see, it does happen. And just drilling down, and once I drill down through that there, then I'll take it up with the next size, which is a 3.5, and at the end of the day that should pull the pin off, take the end of the pin off. and then we'll drill the post out, and we'll tap and thread and put a bolt in there, and we'll all be done. Righto, so there we go. We've got the pins out. Now these are steel pins into an alloy body. And when you start drilling them with the centre one, once the big one hits it, it basically spins it loose and out it comes. See that? And the same here. Absolutely perfect. Brilliant as. Oh, a bit of corrosion stopping the base coming out. That's right, so it's all back to factory. Look at that bit of foam, obviously you're going to have to go back in there. Stop the interior flogging around, because the interiors on these are really pretty basic, very basic, and just thin plastic even. And it's giving me a hard time, the interior. That'll be about right. Try and do something quick. Right, here she comes. There it is. Steering wheel looks right. Everything else, if we give it a wash up and everything, it doesn't need to be painted or nothing, because we're doing all factory original. And there it is. Look at that. We've got the posts, all that done. We've got to drill that out there in the centre to get the glass out, of course. So we'll do that in one brief second. Okay, so we've got the centre pin on the windscreen there. As you can see, I've got the Dremel out and filed that flat because it's a dome as well, but it's this alloy. So I'm going to just gently drill that down till I get the screen loose. And the same again. Small drill bit into the centre of this here to get it just down and up. Don't go down too far, you'll come straight out of the top and into your finger. So just doing this down there a little bit, just into there. And then we'll get the windscreen out now. Now I've gone down enough with the bigger drill bit. Now I'm just going to get the next one that's a little bit over, and you're just going to do this gently, because if you actually go in there and it grips the windscreen, the teeth, your tip on your drill bit can actually smash your glass. So just be careful when you do it. The reason why I'm going to the next one here, so I just need to take that little tiny bit of the outside of that rivet off, because I don't want to go picking it in there or anything yet until we're getting close. And also bearing in mind, you don't want to drill a hole through the roof. Okay, the big drill bit doesn't want to, it's going in too deep for my liking, so I'm just going to get this little tip on my Dremel, and I'm just going to clean the little burrs off that's holding the glass inside in here. Just gentle when you've got this sort of thing in here, because it can actually make you bounce off it and hit your glass, so just be careful. And just use, the reason why I'm using the dome one is because I don't want it to dig in deep. And I don't want it to ricochet on the glass. Just be careful when you're doing that, because you don't want to damage it. The screen will pop out in a brief second. Might be getting close now. Just a little bit of a look. Just a little tiny bit more there. There it is. Alright. The glass should pop out in a brief second. Alright, and what I'll do is I'll just give him a... There we go. It's out. Beautiful. And in good shape. Still got Ford Anglia on the glass and everything too. Alright, so the window's all good. It'll clean up those little dags. That would have been from the factory, that would have been. You don't see them, but we're going to do it so I want the glass sitting in flush. And then you can see all of these dirty scars on the glass. Get over here. We'll get rid of all of them dirty scars all the way around. And I was right, it does have a little fine fatigue crack in there. But by the time it's polished up and all them other scratches away from it, you'll hardly notice it. But anyway, that's the windscreen. She's all out, all done-ski, all ready for the strippers. So when we see it again, we'll be back with it and the car will be in the nude. Okay, there we go. She's in the stripper and it just flies off. This is the best stuff I've used. This stuff here just rips it off every time without sanding it, scratching it or anything. That way it won't do any damage to your alloy body. And there she is. Right, we'll get him cleaned up in a minute. Alright, there we go. All the paint's off, inside and out. Clean as a whistle. Right, so we'll get into it and fix all the body lines up with the file and steel wool him with double O and get him all into primer. Okay, we're back now. This is in the nude, little Ford Anglia. So as per usual, when you take the paint off these things, that's when you start to see all the damage a lot more in the alloy. All the front nose around that there's all been bashed up. Same there. So it does have a mould, eyebrow mould that goes around there, but the front, because it's been, so I'll have to run the file across that too. Take all the dimples out of it along here. I don't know whether you can see them now. I'm hoping you can. All of those really bad imperfections on that body line there from just getting roughed and played with. It's like all really rugged along there. That's why the paint stayed in there, because it's so badly chipped. But anyway, we'll file that body line up without touching the door handle and getting it nice and clean and flat. Then we'll clean all the dags around the window off and everything else there, and then we'll polish him up and we'll get him into primer. Okay, we're back with the little Anglia. Now, I'll just show you here. You can see we're all fixed all of these body lines. I'll just focus up a bit better there. Fixed all of the body lines up so they're nice and smooth now and straight. Filed all that up there. Now, if you remember, also they took all of the dags off around the tops of the doors here. Did all this around here. Also fixed the little fins on the back here, as you see on the inside there. And on the same on the other one there, because they were a little bit bent over, so we straightened them up there and filed them up and cleaned all of the dags off there. Now remember, this body line here was all rugged and all chunky and everything here on that mould, so we fixed all of that mould up there. And that side mould actually looks really nice, actually. Came up really good. There's a couple of little tiny nicks left in it, but by the time we buffed it up with steel wool and all that there, I did all around the windows, took all the furry stuff off around the windows. I actually took that moulding cast off across the front edge of the bonnet there, just to clean that up a little bit more. So, well, we'll buff him up now. I've done the bumpers as well, reshaped all of the bumpers. So this toy's actually, and also the drip rail moulds, this toy's had a bit of a rough rolling around. Right, we'll get it buffed up with steel wool and into primer. Well, I've just brought it in from giving it a buff with the steel wool and everything, and I'm pretty happy with how it's all looking now. All those marks are all gone there. I did leave these original I only cleaned the edge of the bonnet up. They would have done that in the factory, because I've seen other ones where they've done it, because when these come out of a cast, someone roughly goes over it with a brush on like a grinder, bench grinder, and buffs it all up, and then it goes to the next spot. Believe it or not, there's like heaps of them doing it. Yeah, so it all come up alright there. It's all looking pretty good now. It's all looking pretty schmick, cleaning amongst all those taillights there, so we'll go and get him into primer. Alright, I accidentally missed doing the primer part. I forgot to film the primer part. I didn't lose the footage, I just forgot to do it. But anyway, this is my mate Steve's Anglia, so there we go. There's all the new colour. All I've got to do is just do the details, and then I'll run some clear over it then. And another way that they clean them in the factory now is they actually put them all into a machine called the tumbler, and they tumble all through there, and it takes all of the very edges off them. Yeah, alright, so we'll get the details done and get it in clear and finish off the base, and we're ready to put him together. Okay, we're back with Steve's little Dinky, Anglia 155. Now, I've cleaned the base up. You remember all of that rust that was on there? And you couldn't even read any of this here. You should be able to read everything there now. Up here. There we go. You couldn't see any of that before there. I've cleaned that all up there, fixed this up there, blasted it with soda, and given it a good clean, and rubbed all of that down with emery cloth. So I've masked her all up there, cleaned her all inside and out. She's ready to go. This is all done now. All of the details are done on the back of this little beast. And then I also did, obviously down the sides and the handles and all of that there. And we've done all the front there. Alright, so we're about to organise to get it together. It's starting to look pretty sharp compared to what it used to look like. Okay, we're back with the Ford Anglia 155 Dinky toy base. That's all been restored there now. The brass rings in there. You can see a little bit of fine pitting around the Anglia and that there, but you're seeing more than what you can with the camera as opposed to the naked eye. But that's it all done. It's also done on the inside as well, all cleaned up. And there we go. Alright, so we're about to go and get organised and get it all together and polish the windscreen and all of that, and we're all ready to go. Righto, we're getting ready to put Steve's little Ford Anglia 155 together. I put all the new boots on and everything. We've done the screen, it's all polished up back end. There we go, all done up. All nice, clean, crisp lines and everything. Righto, let's get him together. Okay, so this is just a recap, and this is what we started with at the beginning. Started with this beast here, and coming right up after this now. This is what it looks like, all done, finished and restored. Alrighty, there is. She's all done. Little Steve's 155 Ford Anglia. Now that little chip in the windscreen, I couldn't rub any more out of that, otherwise I would have rubbed through it. We put brand new tyres on there, we polished the rims, tidied up the axles, door handle. We also done the quarter panel little emblem there. We also did the front bumpers back and forth. We also done the little eyebrows moulds that go over the tops of the front guards there and the headlights. And yeah, we've restored the base as well. So I'll just pick him up and show you there. And you can actually see all of the patent numbers and all that sort of stuff and everything else there on it still. It's a satin black there, the original pins back in the bottom. And there we go. She's all done and finished there. All restored. Little Dinky 155 Anglia. So Steve's at home now, so that's a good thing. Glad he is. A bit worried there at some point in time. But anyway, hopefully this might bring a little bit of a smile to his dial when he sees it. And in the reel, it looks better in the reel than it does in the camera, because this camera is just reflecting on everything. But it turned out pretty nice. I'm happy with the result. Alright guys, thank you for watching. We appreciate every single one of you. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you want to see more, just hit the subscribe button down the bottom there. That would be awesome. And on Saturday, coming the 23rd of the 1st, we've got a couple of Lesnies coming out for the 3 blind mice build off. And then we also, on the 6th of February, 14th of February and the 1st of May, we've got more, but plenty more coming in between. Alright guys, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll catch you again on the next one. Bye for now.